in Hull. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and Telesol 4G, just a touch. In this edition, millions of Ghanaians welcome New Year with fireworks, church activities, and partying. We'll bring you highlights. Plus, here from some who throng the paths on the expectations of the year. And as the new year begins, Joy News puts the spotlight on labor agitations in the past year and asks how government may have to handle similar situations in the year ahead.
You don't give him time to rest. What type of labor practice is this? Only in the mortuaries. Those who intend to die during that period should wait. When mortuary workers are back to work, they die.
And later in the bulletin, the interesting aspects of the 31st December Revolution commemoration event you missed.
Bahama, 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 Bahama.
And as he approached the microphone, then he started. La la la, li, li, li.
That's all coming up, and also.
Bandana from Ghana, go. African be fair now, go. Oh, Philomena, who look give fly? Ah, tick tock, bitty jab me boy. Oh, your papa, the papa, and you 1 time, 2 times, but the bitch is to that.
And we're getting ready for the biggest party of the year, Joy FM's 90s Jam this Friday, and we'll take you down memory lane, on that musical memory lane. Please stay with me. I have all the details here on the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. And let's begin from here. It's not uncommon to find Christians across the country throng the churches and clubs to mark the crossover into the new year. For some, it is an opportunity to reinvent themselves and aspire for better things in the coming year. For others, it's just another day out of a possible 365. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba brings us a wrap of his visit to some churches here in Accra as we crossed over into 2020.
Like many other churches, members of the East Legon-based Agape House New Testament Church, led by their senior pastor, did a countdown to 2020. Professor Ebo Henson of the University of Ghana Business School and a member of the church is one of the people excited about the prospects of 2020 as he waved a white handkerchief and sang to the songs from the choir.
2019 was full of ups and downs, but all said we had a good year of return, didn't we? So 2020 is going to take off in a grand style. It can only get better, sir. That we'll have very peaceful elections and that the business climate will get better. I pray that on the university scene, since I'm a professor, there will be a lot of progress, there will be calm, and I also think that our position in the West African sub-region should become more dominant, because the year of return gives us excellent potential to escalate this nation brand to the highest level it has ever been in 2020. Hallelujah.
At the Trinity Baptist Church, members welcomed the new year with shouts of joy and praises. Chief Operations Officer of the church, Pastor Kofi Osekusi, is calling for peace as Ghana goes to the polls in December.
Our advice is peace, peace. We have one Ghana, one country. No matter what part of the country we are from, no matter, our political, where we are on the political divide, we are one country or one people. And we should put peace ahead of everything else.
At the Royal House Chapel International, members sang praises to thank God for the new decade. The founder and leader of the church, Apostle General Sam Kranchiankra, has been speaking to the congregation.
Get ready. Your time has come. There is going to be a new direction upon your life. There is a new wind that is blowing towards you. It's called the wind of change. Something will change in your life. That wind will lift you to the place where you belong.
Now from the church, in the pubs and clubs lining the Oxford streets in Osu, colorful fireworks and good music greeted revelers who share the expectations of the new year.
a beautiful cocktail of, fireworks, good music, great food, welcoming several people to the year 2020. And this is Purple Pub, one of the most popular street pubs here in Osu, where revelers and individuals have thronged after crossing over into the year 2020 to mark the crossover. Let me just speak to some of those who have showed up here to just get their minds how they marked the crossover and what the expectations of the year are. Champ,
what's going on?
I'm okay. Happy New Year.
Same to you, bro.
How did you cross over into the new year?
I mean, it's been fun. It's been amazing because you know why? It's Delta December.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything has been fun so far.
All the best. Have a great year.
Yeah, same to you, bro.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
How did you cross over into 2020?
Well, I was here with my colleagues. We were relaxing. We were part of Afro Nation.
Okay.
And it was a great event, and we're crossing over, celebrating into the new year. We said our private prayers, thanking God that we were here at the end of a long year, and we're just happy to be together and hanging out and listening and feeling the great atmosphere that Ghana has to offer.
Great.
So, yeah.
You speak about being part of Afro Nation, which was like a marathon of events and parties in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
That must have been a great experience.
No, it was a fantastic experience. I think it's the best event I had been to in about 8 to 10 years. I mean, it's quite.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like Ghana was the perfect setting for it because as a foreigner, it felt like it was very safe, very relaxed. The cabs could do better. The taxis could do better.
All right, finally, what are your expectations for the year 2020? Any specific plans you have?
All right. I mean, besides making a little bit of money,
everybody needs to make money.
Anyway, besides that, I'm looking for a very healthy year.
So you had there some very excited pictures. Let me speak to some more.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Joy News.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
That's very nice of you.
How has the experience been so far being in Ghana?
Oh, Ghana is very nice.
Okay.
And this is my couple of few days.
Okay.
And I enjoy Ghana so much. I'm Ethiopian Nigerian, and I stay in Addis Ababa. And I love Ghana.
I see you're having so much fun.
We're having fun.
So what's the expectation for 2020 for you?
Of course, life.
Okay.
Prosperities.
Okay.
And all that.
All right.
You see?
So from the church, we went to the clubs, and if you did so, then Kofi Kinata was really right in the things fall apart. But for Metropolitan Archbishop of Accra, Most Reverend John Bonaventure Kofi, the new year should be an opportunity for Christians to renew their faith and practice the act of giving.
We are at Focus Hospital, where we have just come, and one of us, a Christian, a Catholic, has donated 20,000 to help sick people. Why? Because of his love for humanity. God sent his son Jesus, who came to share life with us. He took human flesh and pitched his camp among us, stayed among us. His message was that we, humanity, or people, will be compassionate, will live with the poor, will share with the needy. And so what we have just seen this afternoon for me is there's no message more than this, that we all go out to show love to the needy, to show love, compassion to the sick, the neglected, the abandoned.
That's the Metropolitan Archbishop of Accra, Most Reverend John Bonaventure Kofi. Now let's head to the Ashanti region, because messages on elections dominated the sermons of most of the churches in the Kumasi metropolis during the 31st night services. It ranged from being tolerant, guarding against foul language, and advice against pastors declaring their support for political parties, which they described as unwise. Prince Apia monitored the churches in the region and has come through with his report.
The watch night church services were characterized by prayers accompanied with worship songs and praises before the sermon began. Here is head pastor of Miracle Manor Church, Pastor Ubed Joy Obeng.
Yeah, 2020.
attention was paid to the upcoming elections. Our next visit was the Calvary Charismatic Center, where Pastor Ransford Obeng is the head pastor. For him, it is unwise for church leaders to declare support for any political party, lest it divides the people.
In a church, we have different group of people that come to church. There is no church that has one party in it. There are different people. And churches are supposed to bring people of different background, different views together under the Lord Jesus Christ. So it is not a wise decision for any church leader to declare publicly his support for any political party. Your duty is to pray for them. When you go to the ballot box, that is between you and your God.
Others advise that the upcoming election campaign should be made up of issues that will address the needs of the people and not insults.
The words that we will be using against our fellow opponents, we should be very mindful so that we wouldn't cause any mayhem in the process of the elections. At the end of the day, we are Ghanaians. We have only one country and nowhere to go.
Meanwhile, Superintendent Minister for Mount Zion Methodist Church Society, Reverend Frank Abrifa, was particular about unguarded language. As usual, it ended with heated praises to usher in the year 2020. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, the Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu, wants every citizen to abide by the laws of the land. He spoke to Joy News at the crossover service at the Action Chapel International.
The Ghana Police Service, I would say that it was quite bumpy for us. Bumpy in the sense that we had a lot of officers shot while on duty. But the good thing is that all these officers who were shot, we made breakthroughs, we were able to arrest the perpetrators.
What should we expect in 2020 in terms of security? And we know 2020 is an election year.
Would depend on each and every one of us living in Ghana to be able to secure Ghana during the year 2020. We expect everybody to play his part and to ensure that we deliver the security that the country needs. We expect that everybody will be law-abiding, but I can assure Ghanaians that we'll put adequate measures in place together with other security agencies to ensure that the country is safe and prepared for the election.
That's the Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu. Now, the year of return has produced one great result as the cities of Cape Coast in Ghana and New Orleans, United States, on Monday signed a sister city relationship agreement to strengthen ties between the two cities. The Memorandum of Understanding, signed at a brief ceremony at the Central Regional Coordinating Council, seeks to provide mutual benefit to the inhabitants of the two cities. Richard Kujonyako has more.
With the goals of prosperity, the two parties are expected to explore opportunities to cultivate closer relations with one another in the areas of economic development, cultural exchanges, educational opportunities, and technical exchanges. Under the agreement, the two cities are supposed to benefit from each other in the academic arena through the cooperation between respective universities and other educational institutions. Areas such as tourism, agriculture, infrastructure, and city management, as well as emergency preparedness and disaster management, will also be in focus. Mayor of Cape Coast, Esata, shares some details of the agreement.
Amongst all those areas that we'll be looking at is also agriculture. And under that, there is this special program by the government where we are trying to raise some cash crops for export. Cash crop, also a commodity that I've learned is very expensive in the New Orleans. Is the coconut that you see on your way here. That even as compared to the prices of fuel and all that, coconut is a very expensive thing in the New Orleans.
The mayor of the city of New Orleans, Latoya Cantrell, revealed each party shall seek to identify other areas for collaboration and in all activities work for the benefit of both communities.
To strengthen our ties that will uplift the people that we serve, touching economic development as well. You mentioned coconuts. Well, during Mardi Gras every year in the city of New Orleans, we have the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club, which puts on the most sought-after parade in Mardi Gras during Carnival. And the best throw out of all of Mardi Gras is the coconut. So I see low-hanging fruit as it relates to an exchange and that economic driver and ways that we can make sure that New Orleans doesn't get coconuts from China, but actually gets coconuts from Cape Coast and Ghana.
The city of Cape Coast is expected to reciprocate the gesture to the city of New Orleans in July to participate in the festival. Richard Kwejonyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Now, with over 10 labor unions embarking on strike in the course of the year 2019, it easily passes as one of the most scarred years in the history of labor relations in Ghana. From salary arrears to poor working conditions, the many employee grievances forced workers to embark on various industrial actions to press home their demands. Now, over the past 12 months, workers in the educational sector alone have staged about 5 protests. But with the coming of the 2020 industrial year, stakeholders say governments must collaborate with organized labor to minimize the incidence of strike actions. There's more in the following report.
We, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, National Association of Graduate Teachers, Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana, do hereby declare today a strike action.
And this has been the refrain of over 10 labor unions as they declare their strike one after the other in the course of 2019. From health to civil service, the chain of strikes started with the Mortuary Workers Union in the first quarter.
But you are asking him to work 24 hours. He comes to work on public holidays. You don't pay him overtime. He comes to work on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, and night. You don't give him time to rest. What type of labor practice is this? Only in the mortuaries. Those who intend to die during that period should wait. When mortuary workers are back to work, they die.
The highlight of the industrial year sits with teachers and other workers in the educational sector who for more than once boycotted the classroom. The latest strike over delayed payment of salary arrears was reluctantly called off after the Labour Commission secured a court order to muscle the teachers back into the classroom.
Did all this, I think we've been very, very fair with this government. The whole of 2017, we were quiet with them. We never said anything about arrears being paid. We even have to write to them to come to the table, to sit down with us so that we'll look to and pay the arrears. That is what we did. So the whole of 2017, no arrears was paid.
For the teachers, the NLC has lost its legitimacy to lead negotiations between organized labor and government. With the affected workforce cutting through health practitioners, civil servants, lecturers, bus drivers and morticians, analysts say government must be keen on resolving worker grievances to decrease the incidence of industrial actions in 2020. Labour analyst Austin Gami maintains that the cost of these strike actions to the Ghanaian must be prevented.
We have to double up and change the pattern of how we train and educate people at the universities, our lecturers themselves. They, the custodians of this knowledge, are the first sometimes to go on strike. And therefore, what about the rest of the people? Labor management cooperation must be at the height. If labor management cooperation is not brought on, it will be a very, very disastrous moment for us in 2020.
For Joy News, Manuel Kranting.
We'll take a quick break here on the Midday News. When we return, we'll give you the interesting aspects of the 31st December Revolution commemoration event. What you missed.
Bahama, 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 Bahama.
And as he approached the microphone, then he started. Oh, yeah, oh, la la la, li, li, li.
And also,
Bandana from Ghana, go. African be fair now, go. Oh, Philomena, who look fly? Ah, tick tock, bitty jab me boy. Oh,
and we'll take you down memory lane as we build up to the Joy FM 90s Jam this Friday. Stay with me. I have details after the break.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Now, yesterday, it was the 31st December commemoration. Former President Jerry John Rawlings says it is time the Governing Council of the University of Education, Winneba, asks its Vice-Chancellor to step aside. Professor Afo-Bruni, he explains, is being investigated by some state agencies, while his predecessor, Professor Mawoto Avoke, has been exonerated by IOCO. Mr. Rawlings has been speaking on this and other issues at the 31st December commemoration event held on Tuesday. Joseph Akable reports.
Revolution has a long way to go, but has come to stay.
The commemoration event was on the theme Monetization of Elections in Ghana, a Threat to National Development and Genuine Democracy. The event has over the years been used by various speakers to remind the NDC and Ghanaians at large of the need to stick to the principles of probity and accountability. A member of the PNDC set up to run the country following the coup, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah retired, however took on the NDC and the MPP for failure to deal decisively with graduate unemployment.
Our two main political parties, the NDC and the MPP, have not got a clue as to how to deal with this problem.
The revolution and what it achieved has become a subject of national discourse since the Joy News documentary Scars of the Revolution. Mr. Rawlings believes efforts are being made by various individuals to erode the gains of the revolution.
Some have deliberately spent huge resources sponsoring a distortion of history based on outright lies or half-truths and the rendition by cowards who ran away during those heady days.
On the state of affairs at the University of Education, Winneba, Mr. Rawlings wants current Vice-Chancellor Professor Afo-Bruni to step aside as investigations continue.
It will be appropriate for the Council to request that he steps aside for fairness to prevail, as has been the practice with other similar circumstances in the past.
I'll be bringing you interesting moments from that commemoration as well. But first, how do you make an artiste a cult hero? My colleagues Komla Adum and Mapitso Sabidi, who experienced Christmas in Takrade, tell a story of how local radio stations in the oil city are deliberately promoting artists from the region and what fruits such efforts are yielding.
That's Confessions blasting through 105.5 FM. Our attention is drawn to the jam by the taxi driver who's singing along and having some good time behind the steering wheel. This is about the third song by an artiste from this region we've heard in the last 20 or so minutes.
Friday, all night, Saturday night, our club.
In the studios of Beach 105.5 FM, DJ Magnus is on the drive on the ones and twos.
He's probably the same guy who's been dishing out back-to-back West Side tunes on the radio. Not only of the Things Fall Apart hitmaker Kofi Kinata,
but also of local artists like Ayesem, Cabs, Akite, and the others.
There must be a reason why DJs here are deliberate about playing a lot of local content.
The plan started in 2014 that we are going to promote the Takoradi-based artists. Back then, you don't get to hear most of the songs made here in Sekeni Takoradi. We started that plan that we are going to promote most of the Takoradi-based artists.
what songs are going to be our companions in the clubs and other carnivals?
Friday, Japolo, all night, Saturday night, our club.
Apart from Kenyatta, we have so many artists who are doing very well here locally. Rasebo, Nerex, Singlet, and we have the hip hop guys, the Nemesis Loso, we have the Township, Castor Trend, and all these boys, they are doing very well here in Sekenita Kradi.
And so is DJ Kenny, the Grandmaster of Radio Max 105.1 FM.
He's another DJ in this city, pushing the tardy artists to the world in his small way.
We love our talent here, so why not? Why do we promote them so that they also get to the top? If you don't do that, who's going to do that thing for the boys to also get to the top?
Komlado and Mapitso Sividi's experience will bring you the full report later on tonight. But let me take you back to the 31st December Revolution commemoration event. There are a lot of incidents or issues that happened that got people laughing and rather surprised. Listen.
Lines that took on various individuals. There were moments of laughter and excitement. First, the interesting Mahama and JJ introductions. MC Elvis Efri Yankra on the mic. It appears JJ was excited and would tackle what is perhaps his most passionate topic, corruption.
Mon Dieu, Africa says here capitalism. Shwanuye,
How about asking the crowd whether he should continue?
Yes. You, next time, why?
He did continue and talked about religion.
Socialism too. Christians, capitalists are here, Jesus Christo, who was a die-hard socialist. They made him their icon, son of God. And under that name, Juma Bonnie.
And there were moments Mr. Rollins asked for help to identify someone.
That one in Tama, what's that one in Tama who he punches women's stomach? Somebody, If Obinim
he continued the story.
Had arrived, they invited some young, handsome-looking preacher man in his black to come and preach the sermon. And as he approached the microphone, he beckoned to his interpreter, his translator, to join him. Then he started. Oh, yeah, oh, la la la, li li li. Me, I heard a voice, and I said, wow, this man has a fantastic voice.
And Rollins danced, I guess. Now we're getting ready for the official biggest party to kickstart this decade. It's a Joy FM 90s Jam, and it's just 2 days away. This Friday at the Silver Star Towers. Expect nothing but hit after hit after hit. Let's take you back, musical memory lane.
She still bandana from Ghana. African be fair now. Oh, Philomena, who look fly? Tick tock, bitch, jab me boy. Oh, Philomena, who look fly? Tick tock.
When we bound, ain't you not on everyone? But I remember you said, I think it was so good. Only when we bound.
Your papa, I just a bottle pop. And you 1 time, 2 times, most of the bitches to die. Also cross the and raise your grace. Now brown till we case cry. Who be more back? What's it? Your friend. Oh, Lord, sit down with my fun and kiss the bed. All of the guys don't worry, come here with the bed. Out of his mercy, this are the New York style. This are the London style. This are the Kingston style. Watch for the road boy. To the A, to the G, to the G, to the A. I'm sure nobody expected. But that's what I do. Y'all know me.
Here I come, niggas hold me back, try to hold it back.
Continue that, but meet me at the Silver Star Towers on Friday. The tickets are going for 60 Ghana cedis. And guess what? It's the 25 years anniversary of Joy FM. So this will be different. It's the official party. You have to be there. Mapitso is getting ready for it. And chilling after chilling after chilling.
It's party after party
after you.
Oh, and Komla, please. Yeah, and you see, if you think we chilled last year, you haven't seen. You're not ready.
And you're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
What's trending?
All right, so people talk about the hashtag Happy New 2020 and the New Year at White23 says goodbye 2019. Hello 2020, wishing everyone joy, peace, laughter, and understanding. This one is from Conrad Ashish, who says Happy New Year to everyone. Actually, nothing but the calendar will change today. If you need to change anything else, you got to do it yourself. So get back to work. Hashtag Happy New 2020. And this one is from Baya Jeremiah, who says, thank you, Multimedia, for making 2019 exciting year in the area of authentic news. You brought to us all that we needed to know. You informed us, you educated us, and you entertained us. We're most grateful for the wonderful work done, and we expect nothing but the best from you in the years ahead. Happy New Year to the team, and you will get nothing but the best.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Midday News. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I wish you nothing but the best in the year 2020. I am Emefa Apawu.